Hi and welcome back to the plot. Today's video is going to all be about keeping your plants watered while you're away. So as you know, I will be going away for 7 days to Scotland, and I've had to move all my plants into the greenhouse now to try and get the sun and thinking of ideas of how to get them watered. Now I've come up with 2 different ones that I will be doing. One, I have capillary matting on each of the beds. 2, I'm going to be putting buckets in between where the plants are and putting wicking cord going down from them into them trays that I have the plants in to have a constant feed of water. Now I'm going to play about with them and I'm going to try to get the wicking cord to slowly drip in so it's not just feeding loads of water in all at once. So I'm going to fill up 2 buckets. I'm going to try and place them in between these shelves. And let's get on with it. Right, so bucket of water. Now, we're going to try and fit them in between these 2 trays. Whether or not that works, right. There we go. Hopefully that keep steady and not spill on everything. There. So I've got this bucket of water in between these 2. Now I did have another one, but I can't find it for some reason. So I'm just going to use one of these and put it this side. Now what we're going to be doing is using this wicking cord. Now what you're meant to do is pop one end into the water, if I can get to the end of it. So we pop one end in the water, then another end is, I'm going to put it into these trays, so it's constantly feeding these capillary matting. Now there is different heights that you can put it, but it says only to 7 inches it will go up and then it'll go back down. So if I put this in, let it soak and go to the bottom. Do enough in so it soaks in, definitely at the bottom there. Now, I need enough to try and get it so it's going to go a line along the tray. I'm going to get it and I'm going to put it along and through the middle of here. Now there is other ways you can do it, where if you've only got the one plant, you'll just put it straight in. But with me having capillary matting, I think this is the better thing for me to do, so it feeds the capillary matting. And I'm going to repeat that on the other side. And hopefully by the time I've got done that, it has actually started moving up the rope and can show you actually how it's going to drip into the seed, into the trays. Don't get squeamish at the water, but that is just from my water barrel, so it's just rainwater, but bits of plant life have fallen in, and it's probably algae, so it's a bit green, but it'll do. It's been very dry and it's managed to do the job to water my plants. So I'm going to do the same with this, put the wicking cord in and try and get it to the others and try and water all them in. So I've done this side with this one, putting a cord in each for each side, and for underneath I've done another one just to show you can use different containers. So I didn't want a lot of them coming off one, and that'll obviously feed these ones. Now you can see, and obviously I can feel that that's starting to get wet, and it is actually, like, none of this has actually been in water and it is getting wet down to about here already. Now it's not an instant one, but as soon as that water will get in there, it's going to keep everything moist down there, and my reckoning is it's going to keep them capillary matting at least damp, and that should spread it to the other plants as well. Now I am also going to water the capillary matting itself. That is obviously hopefully going to last a long time for the 7 days that I am away. That is the plan. Now, the temperature isn't going to be too bad for the next week. When I've looked, it's only going 13, 14. So in here, it's probably going to be about 18 or something like that. There's not much sun, so that's working in my favour as well for in here. So I'm hoping with the measures that I've done, with the capillary matting, the cord, and with the weather itself, hopefully there won't be much. So I'll see you in 7 days to find out what has happened. Right, so it's been 8 nights, I think, since the last time I was up. So 9 days. It's the first chance I've managed to get up after being on holiday to check what everything's going to be like. Outside, I know it didn't rain much, I think 2 days, if that. It didn't get too hot last week. I think the highest it was getting was about 16, 17, but in that greenhouse it does get a lot hotter. So I'm going to go up, have a check, see, hope that everything survived and the watering systems worked. So let's get up there. Right, so initial reaction of the plot, I am going to have to get the strimmer up here because the weeds are coming in. My strawberries still haven't taken. It's a shame. My apple tree is flowering. None of them strawberries have come out. See, my bulbs have flowered a bit more. Everything seems to be all right. The actual potatoes have started coming up that was my main crop, potatoes, and they've all started coming up now. I'm going to have to do a definite de-weed on Tuesday. I'm just doing a nip up at the minute, just before I go to work. But weeds are definitely going to have to be done. Nothing has grown in between. Something's actually been digging there, I think. My purple sprouting broccoli has, you can see it through the middle, has come up. Let's have a look over here. None of my beans, there is, you can see the weeds have started to come up. The peas have started coming through there. The salad has survived for the most part. It's more the red one, luckily. Have a look at the potatoes. And the buckets haven't. The first and new ones have come up brilliant. That's good, they've grown a bit. But I'm a bit worried with the other buckets haven't yet. I know they're going to be deeper than them other ones. But moment of truth, let's check in the greenhouse. Oh, I'm worried. Oh. Right, let's have a look. Everything actually has stayed quite damp. The tomatoes have taken off. They've grown quite a bit. Hasn't actually drained that much water over there, which I thought it would. The whole line's wet, so it looks like that's actually helped keep all that moist, because that's still wet. That's still wet, but they dried out. Let's have a look over here. This was my, what we got. My beans have started to germinate at the back, but not all of them. See, what we got, 4 sweet corners germinated, but the rest haven't. Which obviously I would have liked more. But it's not because they've dried out, that's definitely for sure. Marigolds are coming along all right. Dill, and that actually they've done quite well. That's my Brussels sprouts in the back. They're doing quite well by the look of it. Look quite healthy, don't they? Pepper, oh, cucumber's a bit sad. Squash is alright. Some of them are a bit with the leaves, but I think that'll be over water probably. Aubergines, they're looking alright. The bottom's a bit dead, but they are getting fresh growth on the top. Do you know what I haven't paid attention to? My just forest now of different sunflowers. What I got that one? That one's starting to come out. They're all starting to take. Look at that sunflower. I'm gonna have to move that onto the floor because it's getting too big for there. That's thickened up. I'm happy with that one. That one hasn't done very well. That's a Titan, that one. But my courgette. Now, people have told us to take some of the flowers off because it was starting to flower. So I think I'm going to take these flowers off. There's still quite a few. I'm going to take the bottom flowers off. Just to help the plant get it bigger. As I'm not needing that yet. So I'm just taking a couple of them off. Should I take all of them off? I'll post this video, you can let us know. But I've took a couple of them off. I'm going to actually put that on the floor now because of the size of it. See, I got my sweet potato, but it doesn't seem to have done anything. But the verdict on the watering system has actually been quite good. It seemed really well watered, to be fair. I wouldn't have said nothing's really in shock. Yeah, I think everything's alright. The only things that I've suffered are my strawberries. If that. Everything seems to be doing well. Yeah, I'm quite happy with all that. I can't remember what I planted in there, you know. The only thing I wish some of these had germinated, but they haven't. They're still wet, but they just haven't germinated yet. Bit of mushroom growth. Right, what we got? They are germinating. Just the parsnips. You can see some of the. I don't think that's the one we want there. So you can see a bit of the parsnips are germinating, but not too much. Now I'm sure these ones are, and what did I use? Gladiator here. So these ones seem to be doing better than the first ones I planted in. Now I think that was with it being a bit warmer, and maybe it's a newer seed. I know parsnips aren't the best at keeping. The carrots, there's not many of them, but I can see bits are sprouting out. But this bed didn't do very well anyways. It's I'm going to water it up, to be fair. I can see bits of the carrots are now popping through. I'm going to give it a water, then put the cover back on. Right, so it was just a quick one to have a look at how everything was doing. So as usual, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.